Hello friends, my name is Emile and welcome back to some more Gran Turismo Concept. Today we're continuing on with our Let's Play, and this is episode 2. And in today's episode, we're going to be tackling the other course license tests left to do, which are all the reverse courses. We're going to start with Midfield Raceway in reverse. We have the Audi TTR race car, and this should be a good one. Now, usually I'm not a fan of the Audi TT. I really don't like the Audi TT, actually, to be honest with you. However, I do have to admit, this racing model does look absolutely fantastic. So one interesting thing to note as well about Midfield Raceway in reverse is apparently the weather conditions are also slightly changed, which is pretty cool. So this is, of course, the first race car that we've driven in this LP, so we can take this course a lot more quicker than we could in the SLK 500. That being said, as long as my driving holds up, which judging by that it didn't, because I mean the one weird thing with the race cars is you've sort of got to try and keep the downforce always flowing. I mean, you know, you really need to know the car inside out, because you need to know if I, you know, for example, lift off here, you know, sure, I will get around the corner easier, but I may lose my aerodynamic grip and just go understeering off into a tyre wall. Whereas if I keep the throttle on, you know, the aero will sort of keep doing what it's supposed to do, like through there, and I can get through the corner quicker. However, of course, you know, the downside to that is I may or may not understeer off wide. So, yeah, I mean, the race cars are definitely a interesting beast to get used to. However, we are going to, by the looks of it, get a silver. Yes, we are, just about. Again, Midfield Raceway, one of my favourite tracks. So I could probably get gold on that. I think it's just more the fact that I cocked up a little bit getting out of tunnel. If I didn't do that, I would have probably got gold down. Again, I may or may not go after the golds at some point later on in the Let's Play. To be honest with you, at the moment now, I'm just going to avoid that. That looks like a Toyota RSC, which is a very fantastic car. It is indeed. It's the road car version of the RSC, though, which is personally my favourite. As much as I love the Castrol livery, I do have to admit, as far as the RSC goes, I really like the road-going version, because look at all the colours this thing comes in. You can have it in purple. I could have sworn there was a green for this car, but apparently not. I'll take yellow, though. That's definitely something I will take. Anyways, let's head back into the course licenses and continue on. Next up, we are heading to Tokyo R246 reverse. We have the Honda NSX-R prototype this time round, which is a very, very cool car. I really like the NSX. Admittedly, I think they did end up making an NSX-R for this generation. Ultimately, it didn't look quite as cool as this one. It didn't have the carbon fibre hood or anything like that, which is a bit of a shame, but this is still pretty cool. I also think I'm right in saying that this was the first time that we'd actually seen a second generation NSX in Gran Turismo, because I'm fairly certain in Gran Turismo 3 there was no second gen NSX, although I could be wrong. It has been a long time since I played Gran Turismo 3. Also, if you're wondering why I decided to play through Concept before Gran Turismo 3, we will get into why I did that later on in the LP. It all should become pretty clear after a while. Anyways, Tokyo in reverse. Tokyo in reverse, at least for me, I actually find flows a little bit better than the course going in the normal direction, which is interesting to say the least. For example, I love this little section here going around it in reverse. I don't know why. Just like those sort of sections where you're sort of on your, you know, you're very, very close to actually smacking the car into a wall or something, but you just about get through it. Speaking of smacking car into the wall, there we go. Didn't have quite the amount of grip that I was expecting to there. Through this, we can be relatively quick through here. In the NSX-R, the NSX-R is actually a very, very, very good handling vehicle, so that is one advantage to this vehicle. As we slide a little bit wide there, got to try and get this corner pretty spot on. There we go, that was about as good as you're going to get there. Right, we're actually on for a decent time, I think. Providing a breakthrough here relatively well. We're going to slam into the wall a little bit, but nevertheless we are round. Right. Now we just got to make the run all the way to the finish line. Bear in mind the finish line is very, very far away on Tokyo. I don't think we're quite going to do it. Is that the finish line? Come on, NSX. Yes, we're going to get a gold, finally, Jesus. To be fair, of all the tracks I was expecting to finally get a gold on, I was not expecting it to be a Tokyo Reverse, but there you go. Either way, we will receive a prize after that session. So let's just exit out of here and see what our 2 prize cars are, because we're going to be getting 2 this time around. For getting, I assume this is bronze, we get a Supra race car of some description. It is indeed a Supra race car, it's an SO Ultimate race car. And for getting gold overall, we're going to get what looks like a GTR of some description. Or is it a 350Z? It is a 350Z, or a Fairlady Z, I don't know, one or the other. Either way, it's that really awesome fake Nissan race car, which is, I'm definitely going to have to use that at some point, because that car is fantastic. So, yeah, I don't know actually, I might go off camera at the end of this episode and go around and get the golds and then show you guys what all the prize cars are. Well, when I say all the golds, as many golds as I can possibly muster. But I'm pretty happy we finally got a gold. Anyway, we're heading to Swiss Alps Reverse next. We are getting the Ford Focus RS to do that in, which is a pretty damn awesome car. Admittedly, again, it is a dirt track, so chances of this going well are pretty slim, to be perfectly honest with you, but I will see what I can do. How quick can we be through here? The answer is, it doesn't feel particularly quick. Then again, it is almost 60 miles an hour, so I guess that's a little bit quick. Through here, doing rallying in front-wheel drive cars never really works. Admittedly, like, sure, you do get the grip from the front-wheel drive, but what you actually really want to happen on the dirt is you want some sideways action going on. And unfortunately, with the Ford Focus, because it's front-wheel drive, as much as I love the Focus RS, it's great, you can't actually really get the thing sliding the way you would ideally want it to. Oh, God, well, that's just sort of buggered up this lap time. What gear do we want to be in? We want to be in second. One of the other issues with Swiss Alps, as you can probably see, is it bounces the car around an awful lot, so you never really know what sort of gear you want to be in. Admittedly, I think I drove all the rally tracks on Gran Turismo 2 with the auto shifter. To be fair, if I ever try to go for gold on these, which I may or may not do, I think I'm going to sort of focus on the circuit tracks more to get the golds on than on the rally tracks, just because I'm sort of accepting the fact that I probably won't be able to muster up a quick enough lap time to get gold on these. But if I am going to go for gold on these, then I will probably just turn the automatic shifter on, just because I think for sort of rally trials it seems to work a bit better. Either way, we are going to get a silver, which is good. Still yet to get a bronze, which is nice. Of course, I don't really want a bronze, but you know, I'm kind of surprised that I haven't got one yet. Either way, there we go, through the name entry screen. And let's exit out of here and see what our prize car is for that. We are going to be getting a Audi TT-R, the same one we used at midfield by the looks of it. It is indeed the Audi TT-R that we had at Midfield Raceway, with the Walkman stickers on it as well, surprisingly enough. Do you remember Walkmans? I don't. Either way, let's head back to the course licenses, because next up we are going to be taking on Tahiti Maze 2 in a Mitsubishi CZ3 Tarmac rally car. One of my favourite cars from this game actually is the CZ3. I absolutely adore this car. I really wish they'd actually end up making this, because it was basically a Mitsubishi Colt with like an Evo engine in it, which would have been absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, they didn't. I mean, you know, what with, I guess they sort of saw the Colt as their sort of, they didn't really want to do anything too hot with it. Admittedly, they did make the Colt Ralliant later on, but that was front wheel drive and didn't really bring much to the table and wasn't the most exciting hot hatch in the world, hence why it's been basically forgotten about. Unfortunately as well, what with Mitsubishi killing the Evo now, unfortunately a car like this just simply won't happen again, which is a little bit sad. I would really like to see actually like the Mitsubishi Mirage, like a concept version of that turned into like an Evo style vehicle. I think that would really give the Mitsubishi Mirage a little bit of street cred if they were to start using that for like WRC or something, but no, alas, I definitely don't think that's going to happen. anymore. What with Mitsubishi's current standings, they want to sort of focus on shifting electric cars and crossovers, which, as much as it pains me to say that, that's sort of what they're going for. Unfortunately, I mean, that does leave the Subaru Impreza without a sort of really solid rival. Sure, I mean, I guess you could say the Ford Focus RS is a Subaru Impreza rival of sorts, and I would somewhat agree with you. Oh, I think we're going to get our first bronze, actually, because of that. That was not particularly bright. It also wouldn't be particularly bright to do the same thing again now, would it? Oh god, this car is not quite as nice through this section as I was hoping it would be. It's not really sliding the way I wanted it to be. Oh, there we go, first gear. It will do it. If you switch to second, though, it gets a little bit angry. Okay, that's good to know. Admittedly, yeah, there goes the gold time. I'm expecting the silver time to also quickly fade away. Come on, round there. Smash into a wall. There we go. We are going to pick up our first bronze. Admittedly, the time limit on that bronze one is perhaps a little bit too lenient. I can imagine I could have done that several more times and been completely fine. Then again, I think I was on for a decent enough lap time, actually. I mean, I wasn't too far off the silver, so, and I mean, I lost 5-6 seconds by spinning out, so, Anyways, we get a Daihatsu Copen, by the looks of it. Indeed, it is a Daihatsu Coupon for finishing that, which is an interesting car in certain ways. There's not really much more I can say about the Coupon. Well, there we go. I'll take a Daihatsu Coupon, I guess. I mean, I have to. I haven't really got a choice in the matter. Anyways, our final race for today heads to the Autumn Ring Reverse, and we get the Nissan GT-R concept car from 2001 to do this in. Back when Nissan turned around and said this is a 21st century idea of what a Nissan GT-R could, or a Nissan Skyline could look like. But it kind of surprises me that they took this long to really make the car and realise the whole dream of the GT-R. Considering the GT-R was, you know, it doesn't really look too much different from this nowadays. Admittedly, I think the concept car... I think I prefer the concept car from the front. I think from the rear, the actual standard GT-R does look a lot better. Then again, they kind of did make that sort of cross car with in 2005 with the GT-R Concept 05. So, I mean, I guess they kind of realised sort of my perfect idea for the Nissan GT-R. Admittedly, you know, I still think the GT-R... Oh, bollocks. That was not particularly good. Again, I'm still in that rallying mindset, apparently. Apparently, also the Nissan GT-R concept car, not particularly nice to drive. It is quick. I will certainly give it that. However, it is not... It's very slidey. Well, it's slidey, it's understeery. It's all the things you do not want a four-wheel drive car to do, essentially, which is a little bit of a shame. It's also a bit strange when you consider this car should have really been pumped up to the max. You would assume, what with Kaz's favouritism for the GT-R and so on, this thing would be a raging beast, but apparently not. Either way, we are just going to miss out on the silver time as well. I shouldn't really have too many issues picking up a silver for that one. The gold, maybe a few more issues, but silver shouldn't be too bad to get on that one. So I will go and do that at some point before the next episode, and I'll show you guys off my progress. Anyways, for completing that, we are going to finish up today's prize car fund with a Nissan Skyline R34. No, it's the Gran Turismo Skyline. Nevertheless, I'll definitely take that. And as you can see, we can now enter the pod race, which is fantastic. What is the pod race, you ask? Well, I'll answer that question in the next episode. You don't want to miss it, though, because the pod racing is it's interesting. Anyways, the pod racing brings up a good point. You'll see a bunch of presents here. And, well, one of the presents is the pod race. There are 3 other presents, and the presents essentially either give you sort of fun little challenges in this game, such as the pod racing, or they can even give you benefits in Gran Turismo 3, which we'll get onto at some point. But either way, friends, that is it for today's episode of the Gran Turismo Concept Let's Play. I do hope you've enjoyed. Make sure to catch the next episode because we're going pod racing, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, friends, I want to thank you all very much for watching. My name's been The Real Emile, and until next time, farewell.